The deadly shootings in Binghamton and Pittsburgh and Washington State have so many people talking now about gun control again. And Professor Jim Jacobs of New York University is author of a book, Can Gun Control Work? And he joins us here in the studio. Good morning.
Good morning.
Let me first just establish your credentials. You're not a gun owner. Do you own any guns?
I do not.
And are you with the NRA or do you support either side?
I do not.
So you're agnostic in this. You're a professor. You're a criminologist. You've looked at this for years now. Do you think it's possible to keep guns out of the hands of criminals?
I think it's not possible to keep guns out of the hands of dangerous people.
Why?
Well,
that's a strong statement.
I think it's too late. There are just too many guns in the United States. There are too many ways that people can obtain guns. There's the legitimate market. There's the black market. There's the gray market.
So you're saying no matter what we do in terms of gun control moving forward, it's not going to make a difference?
It's not going to make a big difference. There's no way, I think, of addressing these incidents by making it more difficult for deranged people who are willing to kill themselves to obtain a firearm.
But the counter-argument would be if it's possible a chance to save one life, to pass one new law, one new regulation to save one life, why shouldn't we at least try?
Well, we would need to look at what that law is going to be and what the cost of it would be. For example, we could say any person who's ever misused a firearm should be sent to prison for life, and that would prevent one death because one of those people would recidivate.
So what's wrong with that?
But the cost of that would be enormous and more than the society would be willing to bear.
So what's the solution in your view? Does it take a cultural shift in this country, or how do we? Because everyone's on the same page of wanting to stop these mass murders.
Of course, and everybody would say, well, what is the solution? For every problem, there must be a solution. I mean, we sustain 40,000 traffic deaths a year in the United States. What is the solution? Every year we know that will happen. And we say, well, that's the price we pay for living in the kind of society we live in. And a small number of these kinds of incidents committed by deranged people are going to occur, and I don't think there's a way of stopping it by separating them from the instruments of violence.
So we just throw our hands up?
Well, that sounds like a defeatist and fatalistic thing, but in such a big country, we can be thankful that there are very few of these incidents. Maybe what we could do better is try to be alert to hints that there are people who are going to go off in this way, and have better mechanisms of feeding that information to the police and to appropriate authorities.
Well, we talked to the Brady campaign yesterday. They have a very different view than your own. They say 1.7 million convicted felons have been stopped from obtaining guns with the laws that we already have on the books. Do you disagree with that, or you agree with that?
I think the Brady law maybe have some very limited significance. I mean, it only applies to the licensed dealers. So if a person goes to a licensed dealer and they apply for a firearm and they find that they have a disqualifying record, usually a criminal record, they deny them the firearm. That doesn't mean that you've stopped them from getting a firearm. They can buy the firearm from a friend. They can borrow it. They can buy it on the black market. They may already have a firearm. They could use weapons other than firearms.